Hi, welcome to my classroom. I'd like to talk to you about yarn amounts needed for punch needle rug hooking. When you're trying to figure out how much yarn you need for your project, there are two things to consider. One is the size of your punch needle, and the other is the size of your stitches that you make while you're working. To learn more about the Oxford punch needle sizes, you can go to my previous YouTube tutorial called Oxford punch needle sizes. So let's talk about your stitch sizes in your rug. This is the back of a McAdoo rug, and this is the rainbow trout pattern. And the front side, of course, is loopy, and the back side is flat and smooth, and you work on the back side. And while you're working, you measure your stitches, and having smooth, even stitches is what gives you a beautiful rug. So we were taught, when I worked at McAdoo, to have 4 stitches to the inch. Now, I should say, we're using this heavy rug yarn. This is a Seal Harbor rug yarn, and this is a Violet Jane rug yarn. They're both 3-ply yarn. So our gauge uses 4 stitches to the inch. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches to the inch. And that's the size that you use for filling in your water, filling in your fish, filling in your leaves. The only other stitch size we have is a little bit smaller. It's 6 to the inch. Here they are. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the 6 to the inch you use in 3 places. You use it for single lines, like these veins, to outline your shape, to give them better definition. You also have 6 to the inch. And you also do 6 stitches per inch around the outside edge of your rug, 2 rows of 6 per inch, because it makes a really nice, strong rug. So using that stitch size, because it's a regular stitch size, we can figure out a formula for it. So the way the formula works is it's based on that stitch size, and it's based on using a number 8 Oxford punch needle. So the number 8 is a little bit longer. It makes longer loops. It makes 1/2 inch tall loops. So that's what our formula is based on. If you're using a number 10 Oxford punch needle, that makes a 1/4 inch loop, so you'd actually use half the amount of yarn. So I hope that makes sense. The method that we use to figure yarn amounts is called the hand method. And it doesn't sound very scientific, but it works beautifully. I've used it for years and years. The way it works is the area of your hand, if you were to draw a circle around your hand, that equals 1 4-ounce ball or 4-ounce skein of rug yarn. So everyone, of course, has different size hands. This is based on a man's hand, a larger hand, and it's based on a 9-inch circle. I have an 8-inch span from the tip of my thumb to the tip of my pinky, so you might have a smaller hand. So you just have to adjust a little bit. I have 8 inches, I need 9, so I just add a 1/2 inch all the way around, like that. So, keeping in mind that a hand equals 4 ounces, if you want to figure out how much yarn to take for the water, you can just put your hand down and say 1, that's 1 ball, 2, 2 balls, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hands or 7 balls of yarn for your water. Now, if you have a close look, you can see there are a lot of different shades of blue and some purple in here as well. So you need to just guesstimate between those 7. You might want 1 4-ounce ball of each color, for example. So that's the hand method, and it really does work. I've made room-size rugs using it. It works beautifully. But if you're more mathematically inclined, you can use a mathematical method, and that is that it takes 2/3 of a pound per square foot. So this is a 2x3 rug, so it's 6 square feet, and it would take 4 pounds of yarn, or 16 of these balls of yarn to make this rug. What I like to do when I'm making a rug is I compare the two just as a double check. I do the hand method, and then I do the mathematical method, and if they both come out in the same ballpark, I know I've figured it out correctly. You may recognize this cat pattern from a previous video. Let's talk about how much yarn you would need to make this mat. I'm going to use the hand method again and draw a generous circle around my hand, make that 9-inch circle. That equals 1 4-ounce ball or skein of yarn. And I'm going to guess 1 skein for this, so there's that for the kitty. For the background, we can sort of break it up into sections of a hand. So I would say that this quarter of the background would take about a quarter of a hand. And same thing for this area, a quarter of a hand or a quarter of a skein. Same thing here, 3, 4 quarters. So I think we could say that a skein for the background would also be a good amount. It's kind of fun to lay your colors on here to get an idea of what they're going to look like. And I love to open up a skein and surround it to see if I like the colors together. So we also need to figure out how much yarn we'll need to outline the cat for all of these individual lines that separate the paw from the face, for example. And we're just going to do that with a single strand of yarn. And I've guesstimated from experience that to do those lines, and also I decided to do the outer border, 3 rows of the border. So I've guesstimated to do the border and these single lines that it'll take 2 ounces, a ball about that size. So a lot of it comes with practice. I also need a little bit to do these little ears. The inside of the ear I'm going to make pink, and the letter cat, which of course is backwards, I'm going to do in the same color as the ears, and that will take just a teeny little bit. That's just probably 1/10 of an ounce or something like that. So with practice, you'll get a sense of how much yarn it takes. It's a kind of a fun idea to weigh your yarn before on a kitchen scale and weigh it after, and then you'll really start to get a sense of how much it takes. My best advice is to always take more rather than less. It's better to have enough than to run out. I'd like to tell you how to figure out yarn amounts for my number 14 fine mini Oxford punch needle. The mini is great for making small things like this little punched bag, and wonderful for making any kind of object where you want more fine detail. To figure out how much yarn you'll need, the same concepts apply that you just learned with rug yarn. You need to figure the size of your punch needle and the size of your stitches. This punch needle makes an 1/8 of an inch tall loop, and let me show you what the stitch gauge is. When I first invented my mini needle, I had no idea what stitch gauge to use, and I wanted to use all different kinds of thin yarns. So I tried little areas with different yarns, and the yarns below show what I used up above. So this very thin sock yarn is what I made here, and this monk's cloth has 12 to 14 holes per inch, and I decided to always go in every hole just because it made it easy and I didn't have to think about it. So going in every hole, 12 to 14 holes per inch, needless to say, I got 14 stitches per inch. The yarn was so thin that I decided to go in every row as well. So I have 12 to 14 stitches per inch that way, and 12 to 14 rows per inch, measuring the rows that way. This yarn is a little bit thicker, and I also went in every hole, So I had 14 stitches per inch, 12 to 14 stitches per inch, but it would have been overcrowded if I'd gone in every single row, so I left a row of empty holes in between my rows of stitches. So for this I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows per inch. So that's the gauge that I came up with. Always go in every hole and sometimes skip a row if needed with a fatter yarn, or go in every single row with a thinner yarn. So now I knew the gauge that I liked. I liked the way it looked with all these yarns, and I had no idea how to figure out how much yarn I actually needed. So I made this little project. I took 1 ounce of worsted weight yarn and decided to see how far it would go. So I started in the middle of this little square and just worked my way out. And it turns out that 1 ounce makes a 5.5 inch square. For my spacing of my rows, sometimes I skipped a row and sometimes I didn't, to replicate the stitches that I showed you here, where sometimes I skipped a row and sometimes I didn't. So for figuring your yarn amounts for the mini needle, 1 ounce makes a 5.5 inch square. So that's good if you're filling in larger areas, but I wanted to know how to figure smaller areas. So I did the math. I knew that this 5.5 inch square was 40 yards. So I divided to figure out how much was in a square inch. And it actually takes 1.5 yards of yarn per square inch. So if you want to figure out smaller areas, like the wing, there's 2 wings of this dragonfly, for example, that white is approximately 1 square inch. So I know that it would take approximately 1.5 yards of yarn. So that gives you a starting point. You can measure your areas to come up with the number of square inches and multiply by the number of yards, and you'll start to get a sense of how much yarn is needed. My best advice for figuring out your yarn amounts is to always get extra. It's so much better to have more than you need than to run out partway through a project. My dear friend Jackie Towell gave me this advice. She said, always leave yourself an escape route, meaning don't use all of 1 skein of yarn on 1/2 of the rug and hope you'll have enough for the other half. Put a little bit here and a little bit there so you'll be sure not to run out. If you do run out, you can always do what I call robbing Peter to pay Paul. Take a little bit of the yarn over here and put a little bit over there. Be creative, and may you always have enough yarn for your project.